The world tells you to run from your problems, to wish for fewer of them, easier ones, or better yet, a life where they vanish entirely. This is a seductive lie, a fantasy that promises peace but delivers only stagnation. The truth, the powerful and undeniable secret, is that your problems are not your enemies. They are the very proof you are alive. The man who stands before a mountain of challenges is twice as alive as the one idling in the flatlands of comfort. To have no problems at all is not a state of bliss, it is the quiet, still reality of a cemetery. The question is not how to eliminate your struggles, but how to harness them. This is the fundamental divide between those who merely exist and those who truly live, and it is the reason why positive thinkers, against all odds, consistently achieve positive results. This begins with a radical shift in perspective. The positive thinker does not see a problem as a threat. They see it as an exciting, almost magnetic challenge. They are not intimidated by its complexity, they are invigorated by it. They approach a tough, unruly problem with the focus of a master craftsman, eager to take it apart, examine its components, and reassemble it into a solution. While others complain and flee, the positive thinker leans in. They understand that at the very center of the universe's construction is this phenomenon we call a problem, and every single one contains the seeds of its own solution. Why do we have them? Why do you have so many? There is a singular, profound answer, so that you will grow strong. Strength is not born in comfort. A strong man is forged in the fires of resistance, struggle, pain, and frustration. These are not punishments, they are the weights in the gym of your character. Without them, you remain weak, incapable, and mentally fragile. In fact, I would go so far as to say that you cannot be truly mentally healthy without a proper philosophy of problems. Take a moment and conduct a brutal self-assessment. When a formidable challenge rises to meet you, what is your instinctive reaction? Do you whine, "Why me?" Do you whimper and complain about the unfairness of it all? If that is what fills the page of your life, then your mental state is in jeopardy. You are strangling your own creative powers with the twin hands of worry and fear. Worry, whose ancient root means to choke, does to your spirit what a hand around your throat does to your body. And fear is simply worry in its most concentrated, toxic form, the great disintegrating enemy of human personality. The positive thinker has become healthy-minded by refusing to be a victim of this internal sabotage. They have chosen, instead, to engage with problems efficiently and effectively, disarming their emotional power and focusing on their structural solution. But a correct attitude is only the first half of the equation. The second, and perhaps more powerful reason positive thinkers get results, lies in the very mechanics of thought itself. You are constantly, whether you realize it or not, in the process of creating or destroying yourself by the quality of your thoughts. Your mind is not a passive receiver of information, it is a broadcast tower, sending out powerful emanations into the world. Negative thinking sends out negative animations that actively conspire to shape a negative reality around you. This is not a mystical concept, it is a law of human achievement, as tangible as the law of gravity. I learned this not in a seminary, but in the crucible of a failing business venture, facing a mountain of debt and the bitter taste of imminent failure. The story of Guideposts magazine is a testament to this law. We started with a noble idea, but soon found ourselves drowning. We had reached a point of absolute crisis. I called a meeting of the board of directors, and the gloom in that room was so thick you could feel its weight. We had a spindle piled high with unpaid bills, each one a monument to our failure. We had invited a woman named Tessie, hoping her previous generosity would repeat itself. Instead, she delivered a verdict that felt like a death blow: she would not give us another cent. Our desperation, our focus on lack, had become a self-fulfilling prophecy. She saw what we could not, that we lacked money, subscribers, and success precisely because we had been constantly, obsessively thinking in terms of lack. We had, through our own thoughts, created and sustained the very condition we so desperately wanted to escape. Her prescription was as shocking as it was simple. She commanded us to flush every lack thought from our minds, to empty ourselves of the toxic narrative of failure. But nature abhors a vacuum, and she knew that an empty mind would simply be recolonized by the same old fears. The only way to keep them out was to act fast, to substitute a new, dominant thought in their place. She asked me how many subscribers we needed to survive. 100,000, I said, pulling the number from a place of pure hope. Then see them, she insisted. Look out there and see, in your mind, 100,000 people who have already paid for their subscriptions. It felt like a childish exercise, a futile act of imagination. But then I looked into her eyes, this diminutive Jewish woman with immense spiritual power, and I saw what she called the exalted look of the believer. In that moment, something shifted. I didn't just hope for subscribers, I saw them. I leapt to my feet, the image crystal clear in my mind. I see them, I exclaimed. And she replied with the words that changed everything, now that we see them, we have them. What followed was not magic, but the mechanics of a changed mind. We did not kneel to beg for a miracle, we knelt to give thanks for the result we could now vividly envision. Our prayers were not pleas, but affirmations of a reality we had chosen to claim. And when we rose from our knees, the bills were still there, but we were different. The Lord does not change situations by magic, He changes people, and changed people change situations. Our minds, once frozen in fear, were now thawed and buzzing with creative energy. Ideas began to flow, about seed money, new strategies, and innovative approaches. Most were not perfect, but our brains were now working at full capacity, thinking positively, seeing solutions instead of obstacles. That 10% of good ideas took hold, and those bills began to melt away. That magazine, once on the brink of collapse, did not just reach 100,000 subscribers. It grew to become one of the largest magazines in the United States, a publishing sensation read by over 2 million people. The law had proven itself. So, what is the formula? It is a disciplined, two-part practice. First, you must reframe your relationship with problems. Welcome them as the training ground for your strength. See them not as obstacles, but as opportunities containing their own hidden solutions. Second, you must take absolute charge of your thoughts. You are not a passive bystander to the chatter in your own head. You must evict the negative, fearful tenants and deliberately install positive, creative, and goal-oriented thoughts in their place. Form a sharp, clearly defined goal. Pray over it to ensure it is right. Then, hold that image in your conscious mind with such intensity and belief that it seeps into your unconscious, where it has access to the full power of your being. From there, you give it the relentless, positive follow-through it requires. This is not wishful thinking. It is the most pragmatic approach to achievement ever devised. Your attitude transforms problems into fuel, and your thoughts design the blueprint of your reality. On this basis, and by this method, positive thinkers do not just hope for a better outcome, they architect it. They always get a positive result because they have first become the positive force required to create it.